Alright, folks. Today we're talking about a tense turn of events in Iran. The headline was "Hardliners in Iran want to keep fighting America," and that's exactly what the Iranian scene looks like after the passing of its supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, a point that many believe has solidified the influence of the Islamic Revolutionary Guards Corps. In the week-long funeral that followed, the mourners, filled with soldiers and officials, waved red flags, a Shiite symbol that is almost unmistakably a call for vengeance. The flags were more than a mourning gesture. Analysts say they're a very explicit political statement that the country should continue its 47-year confrontation with Washington. That's the stance of Iran's ultra-hardliners, who are trying to turn the mourning atmosphere into a ground for political positioning amid a newly fluid political environment after the US and Israel launched a war in February. Salire Said Golkar, a professor from Tennessee, pointed out that the hardliners are using national insecurity, the idea that the country is still threatened, and opposition to negotiations as a way to narrow the acceptable debate and to present compromise as strategically risky and morally wrong. In a separate but related flashpoint, the US and Iran resumed military strikes just last week. Both sides fired off bombs and attacked each other after a dispute over who controls the vital shipping lanes through the Strait of Hormuz. The ceasefire that had been in place, which underlined a memorandum of understanding from June 17 that covered the future of Iran's nuclear program, slipped apart. The U.S. Central Command even conducted retaliatory strikes inside Iran. Iran, in turn, announced it would keep the Strait of Hormuz closed indefinitely after a naval warning shot was fired at a merchant ship that was apparently traveling without permission. And the renewed fighting was not just about water, it's a symbolic battle over whether to treat the numerous Iranian indispensable pillars, its nuclear program, its ballistic missiles, and its proxy forces across the Middle East as negotiable or as critical to the regime's survival. There is indeed a stark divide between those who think the battlefield gives Iran leverage, and those who trust negotiations. Ali Fathalanejad from a Berlin think tank underscored that Eric's point. He says that those who favor diplomacy see those shared weapons as integral to deterrence and power option of the regime, and therefore non-negotiable. So what does all this mean for the United States and the Middle East? In short, Iran's hardliners are not courting peace. They want to maintain the war narrative and justify any hardline stance as necessary and legitimate. The death of Khamenei sure may have shaken the balance a little, handing the Revolutionary Guards an even more powerful role. The collapse of the ceasefire shines a light on how volatile the situation still is. The United States has answer, keeping the diplomatic channels open only as long as it doesn't get the better of its pressing security concerns. The world is watching closely. As always, we'll keep you updated. Stay informed, stay aware. That's all for today.